Hey people, welcome to the stream. So let's wait for a couple of minutes and then we'll start the problem. Okay, let me check if I am live or not. Also, I will try to speak as clearly as possible because some of the words in the end they are not able to, they are not audible basically. Okay, so for the people who are new to this video or to this stream, or who will be watching this video in the future, the plan is to solve this SQL top 50 problems both in SQL and in Pandas. So you can check out the playlist in the live section. You will have the problem sorted in ascending order basically. Sorry, from 1 to 50. Okay, so currently we are at problem number 21. So we will solve this problem uh, in a while, exactly at 9, or we may not wait and we can start it early also. So anyways, I'm not getting much people who are joining live, so let's begin the problem. Okay, shit. So we need to analyze the gameplay. So we have the table activity with player id, device id, event date is the important column in this problem, and games played. Okay, so player ID and event date is the primary key, combination of columns with unique values of this table. So this table shows the activity of players of some games. Each row is a record of player who logged in and player played a number of games, possibly zero before logging out on some day using some device. So we need to write a solution to report the fraction of players that logged in again on the day after the day they first logged in. That means on the consecutive day basically. Hmm. Rounded to and two decimal places. In other words, you need to count the number of players that logged in for at least two consecutive days starting from their first login date, then divide that number by the total number of players. Okay, so this is the example. There is this activity table with player id, device id, event date and games played. So from here you will see that we have three players, that is 1, 2 and 3, and one has logged in on 1st Jan Feb March of 2016 and 2nd March of 2016. So that is the reason he can be considered as a solution basically. So this is one solution. I mean, this is the part of solution what we need to get. So one can be considered as count 1 and total number of players can be 1 to 3. So that is the reason they have given 0.33. So also explanation is in the below. So only the player with the id 1 logged back in after the first day he had logged in. So the answer is 1 by 3. So here 3 is the total number of players, that is 1, 2 and 3, that is distinct, and 1 is the count. Okay, so 1 is just the count. So even the 3 also logged in twice, but it is said that he logged in on March and then somewhere around July, I think so, right? So this can also be displaced, like this can be date and this can be month. So yeah, anyways, I'm considering this as month for now, and this as date. So let's move to the SQL query and then we will try to understand step by step. So in this statement here we are selecting, uh, basically we need to derive the fraction. So here the output is just the fraction column and the output is in the form of a decimal, sorry, what this number is called, decimal, right? Decimal, whole number, anything, anyways, this is like it comes in the form of point or integer or fraction. Okay, this is in fraction. uh, So select round. So basically a round in the sense we are rounding it to 2 digit places. Anyway, this is like, I think you have learned about this. So first thing first, we are counting the distinct player ID, and this player ID has some conditions here. Okay, upon select count of distinct player ID from activity. So this gives us like denominator is fixed, no need to worry about denominator, but the numerator has some conditions here. Okay, so that we need to keep in mind. So denominator is like total number of count distinct players from activity, so that is divided directly. Okay, but count of distinct player ID, so how this player ID count is calculated? So first of all, we are checking the where condition. So where player ID and date sub. So date sub in this sense, it checks the event date interval 1 day. That means it checks 1 day prior date. Okay, so let's say if it is 2nd of Feb, it's this gives date of sub gives after interval 1 day, it gives 1st of Feb. Okay, so here you will see where player ID and date sub, that is event date, interval of 1 day in. Okay, so it should be, so this prior date should be present in select player ID and min of event date. So min of event date in the sense, the lowest event date. Okay, as first login from activity, group by player ID. So group by player ID is clear because we are grouping it by player ID if there are multiple. And here the min of event date in the sense the smallest event ID, and this event ID should match this basically. So then only we consider it as the consecutive day. Okay, hope this is clear. Okay, so if you want to break it down this query using GPT-4, let's go to the GPT and ask it to break it down using an example, so it will be easier for us. Okay, so break down query and explain with example. Okay, so let's say this. So this part is basically like straightforward. Okay, you need not worry. So we will focus on this part, where, yeah, the from where condition, that is where the confusion arises. So here we will see where clause. Here this checks if player ID and event date minus 1 day combination exists in the subquery result. Essentially, it ensures that the player activity happened the day after their first login date. Okay, so where is the example? So here we will see first login is on first 10, third 10, and first login is on 410. Okay, according to this first 10. Okay, and for player 1, okay, so this you will see like the 2nd of 10th is October, November, December. Okay, 2nd of Oct minus 1. Okay, so this date. Okay, so if we subtract 1 day from it, it matches the min. Okay, so then it becomes like a consecutive day. Okay, so that is the reason player 1 is included. But here if you see player 2, it is 3rd, 310 and 510. It is not consecutive, right? So 510 minus 1 day does not match the 310. Okay, so it is not consecutive. So that is the reason this logic you will get confused here. So basically, yeah, this logic. Okay, so it should be like where player ID and date of sub event date in, so it should be present here. Okay, so it tries to match the second day with the minimum day. Okay, so that's it. So if I run this query, you will get like the fraction. So hope this query is clear. If anything you need, you can just comment it out. I will try to solve it. Okay, yeah, so it got accepted. So let's go to pandas. So we won't like revise it twice. We will ask GPT directly to break down the query. Okay, do same for this. Okay, so let's see. So first, activity first, it is what it is doing. We are creating a new column that is activity first, and what we are doing, activity dot group by player ID. and event date transform min in the sense it assigns the minimum date to every column. So here if you see, player id is 1 1, okay, and first in the sense it assigns the first date, first of Feb, sorry, Oct, okay, and for 2 also it is 3, so it assigns 3, okay, and for 3 it is 4, so anyways it assigns 4 because no other record is there, okay. So the first line is clear. So we create one another column which has like minimum date in every row, and then what we are doing, activity dot log activity of first, okay, let's understand this. Let's not get confused. Okay, so this line filters the activity data frame to find rows where the event date is exactly 1 day after the first login date. Okay, so event date. So what records we are getting out? So wherever activity first plus pd dot offset 1, in the sense 1, okay. So here you will see pd dot offset 1 adds 1 day to the first login date. So adds 1 to this date. So basically it becomes 2. And whenever this is equal to this activity event, that means if I add 1 to this 2, so it goes like this records are equal, right? So 2 to is gets equal, okay, and that record we are bringing it out. Okay, got it, right? So where is, okay, and after that, so yeah, so this record we got out, okay. Now what we're doing, length of x. So basically this is the length of x, that is the only one record, and activity dot player id dot n unique. So basically like total number of unique IDs, that is 1 2 and 3, that is 3, and rounding it to 2 directly. So we are renaming the column as fraction. So hope this is clear, right? So wherever like event date is equal to the first plus the second date, okay, we are getting those records, basically the consecutive day we are getting here from the log. And then what we are doing, length of x. So basically we get only the records which are consecutive upon the total number of records, and 2 is basically the rounding point, okay. So we get new column as fraction, or output as fraction in the data frame, because we cannot return the single value, we need to return the data frame. So in this way we can get the output, okay. So hope this is also clear. Like OpenAI helps us like very easily to break down any problem statement and helps us understand. So you can also follow this approach, like where you can ask GPT to break it down using an example, okay. Also you can try to ask it for better approach or efficient approach, okay. So hope you learned something from this query and hope you understood this query. And if you do like, share and subscribe with your friends who are trying to upskill in the same. And yeah, meet you in the next problem statement. Till then, take care, bye bye.